All right, so the day has arrived. I'm going to wash that stratum and the sand, and then hopefully I can put in the tanks and everything will be good.
Let's begin.
My advice with fluval stratum: rinse, but don't rinse heavily, because it breaks down and turns into dirt. So, yeah, light shower. I'm about to start draining this, taking it down. Better open this heater first, or forget. That's the small one, that's the large one. I did label them this time. There. Alright. Alright, time to start this. And as you can see, I've been rinsing them in aquarium water by the scoop as I go. Just that way, nothing nasty gets directly in the water from the hose. And hopefully it has the added effect of jump-starting some beneficial bacteria in the substrate itself. Okay, so time for me to show you the tanks and what I've done to them. So here's the first tank. As you can see, we got our cave rebuilt, anti-pleco basically, so everything can hide nicely. Got some nice Oko stone all over the place, Oko stone towering, Oko stone little cavern. Basically just nice little spots where stuff can hide. Another Oko stone lean-to. I put that there so it could just like cover that up a bit because I got tired of looking at it and it popped up constantly. So I kind of just used the Oko stone, like a piece of Oko stone, to anchor one of the wheels in place. Also makes it a little bit less visible. And creme de la creme, the Oko stone cave. Now this looks incredibly unstable, but I assure you it is pretty stable. It's a nice little cave, a nice big cave for the Pleco to hide in. It's kind of hard to see in there. All the stuff, all the debris from the filter. You can see the Pleco is kind of dug up a little bit, but it hasn't reached glass, so the extra sand did its job. It's also a good cushion for the rest of this. Ropefish is still in here and it's been enjoying this. Yeah, that's for this tank. So 65. 65 is still pretty cloudy, honestly. I would love to just let it, sit, but I promised this video today, at least until the filter is done, clearing up the water. I did vacuum the substrate to get some of the sediment off. But yeah, as good as it's gonna get for now. It takes time. Yeah, I did clean both filters, by the way. Not thoroughly clean, of course, but I did rinse out the debris from the water. It was disgusting. It was black, pure black. I kid you not. Took the sponge out into a bucket of fresh water, just sloshed it up and down a couple times, and the water was pure black. You couldn't see through it at all. So, toss that bucket of water, comes a new fresh bucket of water, put the sponge back in the filter. You know, I take the activated carbon and the other media I got in there, splash, 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 pure black again. So it was bad. It was horrible. But yeah, we're still working on this, so you just gotta wait. Alright, so this is it. It's a nice little scape. I think it's kind of good. Alright, so I put these plates here because they kind of remind me of like bamboo. Especially the notches and all that, and how they got the leaves on top like that. So I decided to make it kind of like a little bamboo grove. So I got them planted all around, and I think it's pretty nice, honestly. Like it looks nice. It'll be much better once I get all these roots fixed, but that won't be happening for a little bit here. When it finally clears up. Alright, so we got our cave here. Nice little place for, you know, fish and whatnot to hide. Also doubles because the gobies I got, I read up on them a little bit, and apparently they like their main stable is like the crud that grows on and stuff. I forget the name of it. But that's a nice little place for that kind of stuff to grow. So yeah, I left it in there. That piece of Oko stone right there. That piece has got so many holes in it. I figured it'd be really nice for the shrimp to enjoy. That's why it's so close to the little bamboo looking grove over here. It's got lots of cabins. If I get more shrimp, I can make that like a little nesting home, whatever. Back there, I got another long flowing plant with more Oko stone. The piece that was in that is in that back corner right there was originally what I was going to use for a centerpiece, because it's, you know, nice, big, and it's got plenty of little caverns. But I decided against it because I need to have like a little hide in here, or a rather large hide for the ropefish. Now I'm sure if I reorganize this, I could do that, but I don't want to have to reorganize it. Sounds like a pain. So it's sitting there for now. If I want to move anything anywhere later, I can do it, but until it clears up, I'm on this. Got a nice little cave here for the ropefish, especially, and glass catfish, whatever he wants to take cover in there, really. Out front here, we have our base plants. I kind of have them anchored in with rocks because I figure if something gets put in here, it's going to want to stir stuff up and move it. So I figured the best way to do was put a rock directly on a root and make sure it stays put. Now, the only problem I seem to be having with little bamboo forest here is occasionally something will pop up, but once they root in better, that shouldn't be a problem. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We've got all our little flowing plants back there. All the nice stuff up here. Yeah. So, it's done a lot of back activity yesterday, and I didn't sleep well last night. Two little baby guppies. So there is more than one alive. Awesome. Yeah, so we got our gobies and whatnot here still. Of course, not only just waiting for quarantine, but because they're quarantining with all these fish, essentially. But I'm just waiting now. I'm just waiting for this tank to clear up, and I'll do a water test on it. And yeah, I already cleaned the filters and all that in both tanks. So, when I say clean the filters, it just maybe removed all the debris from the water. But yeah, hopefully this clears up. Once it does, it's cleared up a lot overnight, of course, but it's not done all the way. Once it clears up, though, I'm gonna see about slowly adding these fish. I'm thinking I'll start with the cories. I'll start with the cories. I'll get them in here. They'll be all situated and settled. They can find where they want to hide. If they want to hide in that cave, it's up to them. And then I'll move on to the glass catfish. And they can find out where they want to hide. I'll move the koi louches in. That way they can find their nice little places to hide. But they're going to be hard to get to, and that's why I have to take out practically everything first. The gobies, I'm going to put them in here so they can do some little bits of work. I'm eventually going to get everything in the shrimp in here. Everything that's in the quarantine tank now is going to end up in here, including the guppies. Yeah, those are the scapes. So, hopefully you like this video. And you like the new scapes. I do. I'm personally a big fan of this stone scape because I like the idea of, just towering stones. It works with all the fish in that tank too. God damn, is that thing always so loud? Yeah, it works with all the fish in this tank too. The leopard brushfish, the Cinepoma, has a nice place to hide still. It has more places to hide actually, and avoid the pleco, because the pleco is brutal. The pleco loves to chase everything, though since it's been in that cave, hasn't really been chasing anything. I like this plantscape. I'm going to see if I can keep it alive and keep it well, keep it lush. It's already wilted a bit. Hopefully it rebounds. I've been plucking dead stuff out, like dead leaves that have been caught in there. I'm plucking those out with my aquarium tweezers. All this stuff. And hopefully that'll clear up sometime today, tonight, or maybe even tomorrow. And I'll just do one more water test because I want to make sure that everything's where it needs to be. I have all this driftwood still, but I have nothing to do with it. If it becomes a problem later on, I'll add some driftwood. I literally have a bucket full of driftwood. This is all driftwood. All medium pieces of driftwood. So, yeah. It's pretty bad. But yeah. So,
this quick little addendum before I actually fire this video off. That cave wasn't as stable as I originally made it because the Pico had dug up the foundation till this much sand. So I could see sand was still in there, but it wasn't enough to actually protect anything. So I had to do some modifications. Just a little bit.
What I had to do was I had to basically just like push sand in, reform the cave, and then I took this extra piece of Oko stone I had just sitting on my floor, and after I washed it, I noticed it had this nice little nook, this little thing. So I decided, in order to stabilize that top piece and make it so even if one of these pieces was to you know, go a little bit less stable, because of the Pico, it would still have a support beam to keep that piece from falling. So it's basically got like a piece that keeps it from shifting this way, because it's hooked in there. If you can see this little like lip, it's holding it there. And hopefully that'll do. Hopefully the Pico doesn't mess with it any further, and we can all be happy and nothing can get broken.